Welcome back to the Charismatic Voice. We love our patrons, and every month our patrons choose a song for me to review. It's because of them that I first heard Anne and Nancy Wilson, and today we're going to dive deeper into Heart by listening to their song, Magic Man. Thank you so much for your support, dear patrons. Let's get to it.
So strong, little man came to me, never seen her so blue. I could not run away, it seemed. We'd seen each other in the room. Seemed like he knew me, he looked right through me. Yeah.
Immediately, I am impressed by the way she is bouncing around in pitch and so cleanly landing on each of these pitches. A lot of times when people go for a big leap, they'll end up kind of scooping into it. They're not super precise. And that makes sense because in order to sing a certain pitch, you have to coordinate exactly how fast your vocal folds are coming together. They go wacka, 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 right? And how fast that is determines which pitch it is. If it's concert A, it's 440 times per second, but this can get up in the thousands of times per second, and it exponentially grows as you go higher as well. So getting that precise on a pitch right when you land in it, that's quite difficult. And she's just doing such a beautiful and pristine job of it. Let's go back.
So strong, little man came to me, never seen her so blue. I could not run away, it seemed. We'd seen each other in the room. Seemed like he knew me, he looked right through me. Yeah. Come on home, girl, he said with a smile. You don't have to love me, and let's get high, right? But try to understand. Try to understand. Try to understand. I'm a magic man, he said.
It's really catchy too. I like this a lot. Thank you, patrons. This is a really cool choice to get to hear. Other than these really, really beautiful clean jumps, I also am just really drawn in by the tone quality. She's got almost a smokiness in the tone quality, but there's also at the same time a sort of lightness, especially in that first verse. A lot of times a smokiness in the sound is accompanied by something that's got a lot more depth and warmth as well, which she has available, but instead she's combining this sort of innocence with the smokiness in her sound. And I love this timbre for the lyrics that they've written, right? This idea of a magic man, it feels like it's sort of a naive girl at first. And I found out when I was doing some prep work for this, apparently Anne wrote this about her then boyfriend, Michael, who was a bassist in the band, later became a band manager. And it was sort of that like first love craziness, I suppose is what we call it. So I get that innocence, yet also that smokiness at the same time from the timbre that really matches the lyrics. And then there's more passion and more strength in the voice when you get to the chorus. And it's just a really great timbre for all that. I want to go back to the beginning. I want to hear it again.
So strong, little man came to me, never seen her so blue. I could not run away, it seemed. We'd seen each other in the room. Seemed like he knew me, he looked right through me. Yeah.
That's such a fun yeah there too.
Come on home, girl, he said with a smile. You don't have to love me, and let's get high, right?
So when you have somebody who is so clean and precise, like she is, when she does a little tiny thing that's different where she speaks or does a slide in or off, it's so very clear. And this is one of the things I really love about her as an artist. She chooses her moments and gives that extra little bit of expression, but otherwise she's just clean, good singing. Oof. Let's see. I'll point out a couple moments.
Come on home, girl, he said with a smile.
Smile. The way she does smile kind of comes into it and then adds a lot more air to the tone quality while sliding off of it. It sounds like a very enticing smile.
Come on home, girl, he said with a smile. You don't have to love me and let's get high, wow. Try to understand, try to understand, try to understand. I'm a magic man, he said.
I just love the way she ends up throwing off that last line, I'm a magic man. It's very, very spoken, very snarky, which can be very snarky, we've heard before. Anyhow, I'm going to go back one more time with that, and then we'll keep going.
I don't understand. I'm a magic man, he said. He said a magic man. Winter nights we sang in tune, played inside once and knew. Never think of never, let the spell last forever. Summer lover past a fall, tried to realize it all. Mama says she's worried, growing up in a hurry. Ooh, yeah.
Oh, that was that was a nice run on the ooh yes. I like the feeling behind that. Also, I'm really enjoying the construction of the melody of this verse and what's happening instrumentally underneath. You essentially have just one note that is repeated twice underneath, over and over, while she's doing a pattern. She goes back to the same note on the bottom, but then she's doing essentially a scale down. So every time she hops up, the note down is one step lower. It's fairly simple in construction. And that simplicity is then really complemented by how simply and pristinely she sings it.
Never let the spell last forever. Summer lover past a fall, tried to realize it all.
So you have bum 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 bum, right? Essentially, that's the note that's happening on the bottom in an instrument, and it's just repeating over and over again. There, I think in the very first verse, there was nothing else. Maybe there was something else and I missed it. In this verse, it sounds like there's a little bit more fill from other instruments. I mean, definitely we've had the drums going the whole time as well, just to keep that rhythmic pulse. And then her voice is the one that's doing this, and then it's like a staircase kind of coming down, and then she does a drop low note, which is really exciting at the end.
Winter nights we sang in tune, played inside once and knew. Never think of never, let the spell last forever. Summer lover past a fall, tried to realize it all. Mama says she's worried, growing up in a hurry. Ooh, yeah.
And when it's a sort of like that kind of simpler construction and it's repeated, that's one of those things that can make a song really sticky. And I think it's so catchy. I already hear that part repeating in my ears over and over and over. Really, really lovely design. Okay, we'll keep going.
Growing up in a hurry. Ooh, yeah. Come on home, girl, mama cried on the phone. To say that my baby and my girl should be home.
Ooh.
Try to understand. Ooh, try to understand. Try to understand. He's a magic man, mama.
Oh, I love the way she differed. He's a magic man, or I'm the magic man, between the first verse and the second one. Right, the first one is spoken, it was a lot lower, but this one feels like a girl almost persuading her mom, which really works with the lyrics there as well. Really fun. Also, in general, she has a slightly, I'd say, an almost mellow, natural tone. It It has a beauty to it. Has that smokiness to it as well. But then sometimes she'll bring it really far forward and get that snarky, almost snarly aspect. And I heard that happen a couple times in this verse.
Baby, if I could, mama cried on the phone. To sell the baby, if I
Right
could
there.
also be home.
Baby, she really goes far forward within that vocal tract. And sometimes we'll talk about placing resonance. So the sound originates in your larynx. It originates, in her case, with the two vocal folds coming together, right? Going waka, waka, waka. And then after that, how she shapes all of this right above where the sound is made. It can go back, it can go this way. The sound waves essentially just bounce off of this cavity. And how you shape that cavity greatly contributes to tone quality. So in this case, I could hear her focus that resonance a lot more forward on baby. And that's one of the reasons it gets a more bright sound.
Come on home, girl, mama cried on the phone. To sell the baby, if my girl should be home. Try to understand, try to understand.
On the ooh especially, you have a lot more forward resonance. It even sounds like she might have gotten some extra nasal resonance in that one. That would happen because of her soft palate often dropping. So a little bit of the sound is sent out through the nose. But just having forward resonance, you're going to get some nasality in the sound, meaning that the sound is essentially finding some empathetic vibrations in this area, this bone structure of the face. And then when the soft palate drops, you can also get some of the sound exiting through the nose. Anyhow, lots of really cool ways she's essentially manipulating her vocal tract to bring different timbres.
To sell the baby, if my girl should be home. Try to understand, try to understand, try to understand. He's a magic man, mama.
Whoa, nice. Wow, that was really, really full chord closure on that top area. It even had like a tiny bit of like extra, I almost want to say TA involvement to make that sound really pierce through.
He's a magic man, mama.
That's so cute. Wow. Huh. That was such a fun little extra instrumental solo there. I love it.
Home, girl, they said with a smile. I cast my spirit love on you, woman, from a child. But try to understand, try to understand. Oh, try, yeah, try to understand. Try to understand. Ooh, he's a magic man.
Oh man, so many different sounds she's playing in here. This to me feels like it's driven emotionally. I don't imagine that she's necessarily thinking, oh, I'm gonna do this physically and this physically and this physically, and she's not constructing it sort of in a scientific way as she's performing. It sounds like this is emotionally driven, and often that is actually a better way to get to some of these things, because we automatically will make these shapes when we think of certain emotions. It's very instinctual. So in there, at one point she had like a moo. I think it went moo. I'll go back and check it. But she essentially had a closed mouth as she was singing a higher note. And that got into that focus spot I was talking about earlier as well. And then I just love the way she added breath to this ending here. There's so much fun stuff. We're going to go back and catch a bunch.
Understand, try to understand. Oh.
That, she's really keeping the mouth quite closed on this very high yet fully produced note. And I think that's really part of the reason the soft palate is dropping some and adding that little bit of nasality, and it's like a little bit of squeal even on the sound. It definitely has an almost primal natural emotion that comes with it as well. It's just so expressive and fun. Wow. There's so much sensuality in the way she's singing that. You go, oh yeah, that's definitely about young love. Oh. That's so interesting how she and the guitar feel like they're riffing off of each other. When she does no, 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 it is mimicking the way the guitar was playing and sliding into the notes as well. I like that combo. And they're within a note of each other. So when they're not on the same note, they're just right beside each other. That creates a really interesting dissonance that they're also playing off of. It's interesting how band members influence each other. I definitely hear in some of the sounds that she was making with the ooze, especially the higher ones that had a little more cut in them. It sounds like she was tilting her tone to be more guitar-like, essentially. And when she does certain slides or bits of expression that emphasize words, I think she also has a similar way of approaching them as these two instrumentalists here. It's just, yeah, it's remarkable. And I think that brings continuity to the band to have some similarity in that expression. That section is really cool because both of them are doing slides, or like almost like pitch bends. They're just really slow slides, but they're going in opposite directions, right? You'll hear one is going up and one is going down. Her oohs are going up. guitar is going down. I even like the shake it mimics her vibrato. Woo! Whoa, what was that little scream she did at the end? Wow, it's a nice scream. Oh! Wow, wow. I didn't expect that synthesizer sound in there. I love the way she did like an ow, essentially a higher scream at one point, and then shortly after the guitar did something that was very similar to mimic that. Again, they're playing off of the way each other riffs a ton. But that synthesizer sound all of a sudden was very surprising. Beautiful harmony there, I think, from both Anne and Nancy Wilson. And so Nancy's coming in on that harmony. It's interesting. This feels like the most classical I've heard her sing so far. Has a little more vibrato. I think it's partly because we're entering higher. We also, it sounds like she's got a little more dome happening in this sound rather than just the like forward brightness. And then, of course, we have this really fun synthesizer that's happening too. They feel slightly progressive in this rock style. It's very, very interesting. Like, we didn't have this as much, the synthesizer earlier, and it feels like as ideas are coming up, rather than just taking them and putting them into a previous thing, they're expanding on them as their own new idea. We'll probably get some sort of bow that wraps it up at the end, I'm guessing, but it does feel very almost like unscripted, improvisational at this point. There's something about the way they're harmonizing. It's fairly close harmonies that are moving very parallel. It reminds me of the Flower Duet, which is one of my favorite classical pieces. It's just such a gorgeous duet. If you haven't ever heard it, you should definitely check out that video on the channel. It's beautiful, and I would love to hear them sing it now. Oh, nice! Oh, that was a cool turnaround. The way that they brought it back felt... They're definitely making use of this synthesizer, which reminds me of a lot of early video game synthesizers too, which is super fun. But they used that to sort of circle back into the chorus here. And the build moving upwards and grander within the instruments as well really helps this turn. Yeah.
He's a magic man.
Huh. So a lot of the other Magic Mans, she was speaking in some way. And I like that she's taken this one and now she's just belting it. It's like, hey, this is, I guess, the very end, and oh, Loopback needs to update. Loopback, by the way, is a really, really awesome audio plug for those of you that don't know. We're gonna go back and catch up Magic Man sung again here.
He's a magic man.
One of my absolute favorite vowels to play with in belting is an A vowel, and a lot of people find it easy to also play with an E vowel. So she's going yeah, yeah, making use of some of the best, I think, easiest vowels for women in particular to belt on here.
He's a magic man.
Nice. Nice. I absolutely love that through recommendations, I've essentially been taken down this music history road covering metal and rock. And I love that I'm getting to discover these voices that are just epic and have shaped music today. It's brilliant. Thank you so much to our patrons for this amazing, amazing choice. If y'all would like to hear some of the other patron choices, you can check out this playlist over here. And feel free at any point, of course, to join us on Patreon. We're there at the Charismatic Voice. And we have a really, really awesome community of wonderful people who simply love great music. I hope to see you somewhere soon.